Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Game On with Yassine. Today, we are reacting again to the Premier League, and of course, we had some fun games, we had some boring games, and we had some surprises that we're gonna discuss today. And let's start with the leader, still Liverpool, the Reds. You never walk alone, still leading the table. The game that they had this weekend was against Everton, the Merseyside derby. The game, especially the first half, had nothing to do with the Merseyside derby, the historical derby between these two teams. Liverpool did everything they wanted in the first half, total control, beautiful goals, all what Liverpool is about, or what Liverpool is trying to be. Um, Liverpool scored the first two goals in the first half. The second half, we saw a wake up call from Everton, and they tried and they managed to score one goal and one goal only. And to be honest, they did not feel, talking about Everton, they did not feel they were going to score more than that goal. I didn't see any danger. What I saw was interesting after Liverpool playing very well in the first half. The second half was kind of shambles. You could see Liverpool players doing some weird things in the midfield, like totally weird passes, totally lack of concentration passes. And I don't know if Liverpool really wants to be good this season, if you want to keep bringing good results. So far, they are bringing good results, but with questionable performances. They need to figure out, they need to. I think there is a dip in the game for Liverpool. I feel like they go good, they start good, they're going good, then they go, whoop, and that's where they get hurt. Luckily, because of their championship mentality, they are able to come back in games. Today, they didn't have in this game against Everton. They didn't have to dig deep, as they say. They managed to keep the result of 2-1 till the end. But sometimes they might not be able to come back. So this is a thing. They need to find where that deep happens. Why does it happen? Because they were making mistakes that they didn't need to do. They didn't have to make actually. And something for fans, I noticed that in this game of Liverpool and of course in the game of Arsenal versus Man City, when you see your team start to struggle, this is an advice for all the fans, um, especially in the Premier League, to be honest, because the fans sometimes they think they are in Broadway watching a play or something, just like quiet and just like, oh, eh. It's it's so funny. Like when you see your team, for example, Liverpool, we're talking about Liverpool, when you see that dip comes to play, you need to push your team. You need to be there. You need to make the other team's life miserable, so you can put your team back in that second, in that what can I say, back to that maybe third, fourth gear. Otherwise, they're gonna get hammered. And we saw that Liverpool, they were winning, they equalized, and they have to go back and win in extra time or in the last few minutes. This is just a an observation I noticed, especially in the game of Liverpool. The good thing about Liverpool, 5 games, 5 wins. Nobody's complaining, but I'm not complaining if I'm a Liverpool fan, but something they need to pay attention to. One of the other big games of this weekend was between Man United and Chelsea. Oh my goodness, this game, Man United showed up in a really good form, especially in the first half. They were fantastic, and Chelsea's lack of concentration in the defense helped with this performance because they lost one player in the beginning of the game. Actually, it was the goalkeeper who who had no choice but to go hard on Bumo, and he was sent off. Then the Mr. Philosopher coach of Chelsea takes Palmer, and he doesn't think about what might happen in the future. I don't know. Like this is actually something I was thinking about. Like when you plan for a game, I'm not a coach, I don't know. Do coaches really think about like, hey, what about if I am playing with 10? What should I do? Do they make that plan or no? Honestly, I wish somebody ask these coaches, like, when you prepare, do you really think about maybe playing only with 10, losing one player? I don't know, like, because he took Palmer, and Palmer is a big thing, or is a big player for them in scoring goals. So you kind of, you lose one player, you take Palmer, who is one of the good ones, and now, when if you have time to go back in the game, you can't because you don't have the tools. I don't know. I think this is basic things, but anyway. So Chelsea still were able to come back in the game, I believe, in the second half. By the way, Casemiro got sent out, and Casemiro today scored the second one after Bruno scoring the first one. But Chelsea, again, you did not feel that they were going to score the second. They had a close one in the last few minutes, but Bayender was able to save it. Who actually did well today. Um, the other thing I was gonna mention is, like at the last few minutes, if you are losing, you should be the one who's trying to press and avoid making mistakes and try to score. Chelsea actually didn't do that. That was weird. I think the coach totally screwed up when he took those those players, especially Palmer. In my opinion, he should have kept it. You can sacrifice another player, but leave one that can create things for you, create something from nothing. He shoots very well. He can dribble. I don't know. This is something he needs to think about in the future. Basically, this is it for Man United versus Chelsea. Man United came in strong. Amorim came planned well for this game, and the players also showed some desire to win, and that's good. Mazraoui was good in this game; he was fantastic, and good for Man United. This is good sign for them. Chelsea, they are not in a really good position. I would call it a rough start so far in this season. Another big game today, or in the Premier League this weekend, was between Arsenal and Man City. Again, this is the surprise of this season so far, or of this weekend, to be honest, because Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola today did something totally different from what he's accustomed to. He parks the bus. Generally speaking, he let Arsenal play. He let Arteta squeeze that brain and come up with tactics to to um, to win. But unfortunately, he couldn't. The way Man City played today was very smart. They managed their energy very well. Defensively, they were fantastic. I could not believe in my eyes in certain moments. I was like, holy moly, is Man City defending this way? Where is this defending has been hiding from these guys? So Pep Guardiola, fair play to him. He is showing evolution. He's showing, like, you know what? Sometimes we don't have to control the ball all the game. Sometimes you can let the other team play and uh, and see what's going to happen, and we can hurt them. And that's what happened in the first 15 minutes of the game when Haaland scored a beauty and from a counter attack, and they did it. They were actually close to winning it, except Arsenal were able to come back after the substitutions Mr. Arteta did and brought in Eze and Martinelli and Saka, I believe, too. My question is, I did mention in one of my shorts about this game, is why did he wait so much for Eze? Eze is had good history, good results against Man City, and the guy proved himself in the Premier League. You don't need to keep like using this weirdness that coaches sometimes try to apply. I understand if the player is still young, not coming from a different league, you give them, you build them up, boom, boom, boom. But if the player already proved himself in the Premier League, like, just use the guy. And you see when he came in, he brought in energy and he actually assisted in the goal. So something he needs to think about in the future. You need to use Eze in the beginning, especially when you have teams parking the bus and you need somebody who can go fast and dribble and cross inside, so to the box, so hopefully they can score. Their set pieces, they were shut down totally today by the defense of Man City. Donnarumma was fantastic today, and he helped with shutting down those corners, especially punching most of them properly, except one that he almost missed. But still, generally, he did very well. Two saves, and today he conceded his first goal with Man City in the Premier League. So basically, this is it for the big games, I would say, in this weekend. One of the teams that's doing fantastic this season is Tottenham versus Brighton. This game was really good. They ended up 2-2, and Tottenham had better more ball position in this game, 64. And you can see, man, this Frank, this coach that took over Tottenham, he's doing fantastic, to be honest. He's really leading this game, and now they find themselves in the third place with 10 points with Arsenal. I mean, where is Tottenham from last year to this year? You know, who's the difference is the coach. Players are the same. Last year they had a few injuries, and that's can be hard, but they are doing really well, to be honest. Good job for the coach. Liverpool still leading with 15 points, 5 games, 5 wins. Sorry, yeah, 5 games, 5 wins. Bournemouth is number 4, also with 10 points. Chelsea is in the sixth position with 8 points. Crystal Palace is a good surprise so far this season. the they managed to survive last season, and now they are doing very well. This is a team that learned from mistakes. Man City is in number 9, Man United in 11, and in the bottom, Wolves with 0 points, and West Ham in the position 19 with 3 points only. Aston Villa not having a fun game and start this season. They only have 3 points from three draws, no wins so far. So don't know what happened to Aston Villa. Oh my god, that's crazy. Anyway, my friends, this is my reaction to this weekend games. I am going to be doing some reactions to what coaches talk about after the games, especially, and we can see or try to see what we can infer from what they were really planning. Again, thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.